Hey everybody, today we're going to be checking out the Solar S2.6C guitar by Engl. This is a relatively new piece of kit, so I thought it'd be fun to do a quick demo on it. So I'm going to split the demo into 3 different parts, which is going to be what it sounds like in the mix test, then what it sounds like through a real amp like this guy here, and then I'm going to do a purely software test. Then at the end I'm going to do a quick review on what I liked about this guitar. It's overwhelmingly positive. And if you don't want to hear me ramble on, I'm just going to put timestamps in the description so you can just skip to each test if you want. So without further ado, here is the first test, what it sounds like in a mix. So that was a quick test of how the guitar sounds like in a mix. Next we're going to look at how it sounds like through a real amp. So I'm using my Engl Screamer 50 here, and I'm going to change view now just to show you what the signal chain is. What we're looking at here is a fairly simple setup. We've got the Solar going into a tube screamer, then the output of that has been fed to an Engl Screamer 50 watt. Then we're bypassing the cabinet that the Engl should be connected to. Instead we're going into a speaker dummy load, and that's provided by the Torpedo Captor 8 ohm. The output of that is then being fed into a Audient ID14 audio interface. The reason why we're using the Captor is so that we can use impulse responses instead of having to actually mic up the cabinet. As far as the impulse responses that we use, I'll leave a download link in the description so you can check them out if you want to. Also, here's a quick image of the signal chain in case you didn't catch everything there with the video footage. So that brings us to our final test, which is the purely software test. For this, I'm trying to emulate the same setup I had in hardware, so I'm still using a software emulation of a Tube Screamer. The only difference is I'm using a Mesa Boogie amp, and I'm using Bias amp to provide the amp simulation software. I'm going to put screenshots up as well while I'm playing so you can see the setup I have in software. As a wrap up, I'd just like to share some thoughts on this guitar, as I've had it for a few months now and it's been pretty much well worn in. So if you're into playing metal, this guitar in my opinion is perfect for you. When it came to me first, it was set up really well, low action, really easy to play. The neck is thin, it's not super thin though, but it's really comfortable, really easy to whiz up and down the neck. The tuners are Grover tuners, holds tuning really well. Even just the overall look of the guitar is really nice. It's just like a really nice, sleek, kind of modern feel to it. It's very metal. The pickups themselves are Seymour Duncan pickups, and I find that they work really well with high gain, so they kind of retain the note definition without sacrificing the meat of the tone. The only small little gripe I guess I have with this is the toggle switch, if you can see here. So it's a 5-way toggle switch, so you can switch between the pickups obviously, but you can also split the coils so you can get a single coil kind of twangy kind of feel. And when you're moving the toggle switch, it kind of doesn't click, it just kind of moves smoothly. Now that's not really a problem for me, as I do most of my recording at home in the studio, that I can really tell when it's in that position. But if you were playing live, I guess it could be kind of hard to know what position you're in, as I guess, you know, it can get quite chaotic on stage, and if you're not able to hear yourself 100% perfectly, I guess it will be kind of hard to know what position you're in. But apart from that, you can tell that this guitar it's beautifully set up. They've obviously spent a lot of time in designing it, and I'd recommend it to anybody who's into metal. So, thanks for watching.